year of wood snake. What do we expect? Just like a snake, we are to shed off old skin. Napakarami kong traumang na-gain from the business. I was always grumpy. Bukod dyan, para akong desperado. Na-depress po talaga ako. Welcome to the second episode of Mental Health, Mental Wellness Talk with yours truly, the Joyful Entrepreneur. Now, obviously, today is special. We're going to briefly talk about what the year of wood snake is going to be, particularly sa ating mga mental health, lalo sa mga negosyante. So, meron tayong maikling diskusyon tungkol dyan. And at the same time, I'm still going to talk about mental health, particularly ng mga negosyante nga. So, last episode, yung ating first episode dito sa Mental Wellness Talk, no? We spoke about bakit ko ba ginawang topic ang mental wellness. Una, bilang isang negosyante, quickly, of course, tayong mga negosyante, we mostly give our best sa ating mga ventures in the hopes na maging successful tayo. Who doesn't want that, right? But at some point, kung hindi mo na mabalanse yung buhay mo bilang isang negosyante, ibig sabihin there's so much imbalance that's been happening or going on as you manage your business, as you make it grow, nawawala po talaga yung balance doon. And so in my case, I had a depression. That was 2020. Imagine, no? Tinrabaho mo ng husto yung negosyo mo para sana ma-deliver niya yung pangarap mo. And in my case, it did. I must say na yung pandemic sa business namin na nagpa-retire sa akin is really beneficial. Alam kong maraming tinamaan during the pandemic. Maraming nagsarang mga negosyo. But in our case, parang naka-boost yung aming business. Parang naka-energy drink yon. Bakit parang naka-energy drink? We never stopped, and I'm glad that none of our employees, maski kami, until now, none of us contracted yung COVID-19. So, syempre, good news yun for us, ano? And at the same time, I think financially, we're so rewarded dahil patok po yung aming business. Until now naman, maganda pa rin siya. Pero syempre, during the pandemic, yung tipong takot na takot ka what's going to happen to your business. In our case, nagtuloy-tuloy siya. And we thought na baka swerte lang kami first few months or first year in the pandemic. Pero hindi naman po. So again, we're glad, we're blessed in that sense. But in my case, kaya natin pinag-uusapan ang mental health. Ako bilang negosyante, na-depress po talaga ako. And even after a few years, after nung aking stint bilang the CEO of our company, Clean Zone PH, naramdaman ko na napakarami kong traumang na-gain from the business. Ano ba yung mga trauma that I'm referring to? Again, bilang isang negosyante po, prone tayo sa traumas in a way na constantly, every single day, ano? Marami tayong mga unique challenges that we have to face, we have to overcome. Naalala ko, kailangan ko pang magpatawag ng police para pakawalan ng aming client, yung aming staff na nasa bahay nila kasi by accident, may nabasag. So yung client, ayaw niyang palabasin yung aming employee. I think, nakakalagay naman yan sa service contract namin na basta meron kaming terms and condition for it. Clear yon, bago pa lang sila kumuha ng service namin, it was clear. Pero yung client namin, for some reason, I don't know what's really happening, ay parang kinidnap niya po yung aming staff. And so, first time nangyari yon, I had to inquire sa mga lawyers, I have to check, yun na nga, sa police, tumawag din kami sa barangay. I can't even remember kung paano nag-end yung episode ng buhay ko bilang negosyante nung araw na yon. But in terms of stress level, from 1 to 10, I'll give it 90. Napakataas, di ba? Paano ka naman magiging joyful? Kaya nga ang aking branding ngayon ay The Joyful Entrepreneur because looking back, I was not that joyful. So supposedly, ang negosyante, kailangan or parang maganda kung masayahin ka lang. Siyempre, you're blessed. You're getting customers, really good employees and all that. But in my case, it was really the opposite. Sobrang daming mga challenges na pinagdaanan ko nga. Kaya naman, pinag-uusapan na natin ngayon yung mental health or mental wellness. So yun nga, sinishare ko sa inyo no, na bakit ba nabuo ang The Joyful Entrepreneur as my brand and why do I talk about mental health as a whole, lalo sa mga negosyante? Kasi nga po, simply put, I've been there. Nakakalungkot at nakakahiyamang sabihin nung panahon ko na sobra akong engaged dun sa aming operations in the business. I wasn't so happy. I was always grumpy. Bukod dyan, para akong desperado. Kasi parang yung buhay ko bilang isang negosyante, it wasn't really fun. So again, nakakalungkot, pero those are the things that I have to recall para syempre when I share these stories to all of you, ay makarelate naman kayo. So I totally understand how it feels to be an entrepreneur, lalo na yung nagsisimula ka lang, napakarami ko pong mga tinayong negosyo, mga registered tsaka unregistered. Siyempre, nung elementary, high school, college particularly, hindi mo naman irerehistro yan. Ano? Nung ako ay full-time employee, ang dami ko ding pinutap. I've been exploring. And I'm glad I did and I started early in the business. Kasi alam nyo po, nung ako ay nag-40 years old, if you know me, ako po ay nakapag-retire naman. So, ibig sabihin, I really had to step back, step out of the business of the operation. But kahit papaano ay meron kang peace of mind and alam mo na tuloy-tuloy naman yung buhay. And with that, I could only hope na sana mangyari sa ating lahat yan, pero pag-usapan nga natin yung mental health. At yan nga ang pinaka-importante sa ngayon. So, ngayon, para po sa topic natin, pag isushoot, or rather, I will go straight to yung Year of Wood Snake para sa mga negosyante. At particularly para sa mga mental health. Hindi lang naman talaga to sa negosyante, you could certainly relate to it. Kung kayo ay may mga pinagdadaanan or very hopeful of the Year of the Wood Snake, syempre that's good. Hindi ako feng shui expert or even astrologer, but the thing is, sobrang hilig ko pong magbasa ng mga ganyan and typically, bago pa lang mag-Chinese New Year, nakakapag-assess ako. But this time, I really want to focus on our mental health. Alam niyo po, ang taon ng Wood Snake, ito ay, imagine ninyo yung mga snakes po, they shed off their skin, di ba? The old skin. Ano ibig sabihin nun? That only goes to show na there's transformation because snakes they go through the transformation. So, syempre, pag natanggal na yung lumang balat, so it's as if you're new. Diba? And that's really happening sa mga ahas at ngayong taon na nga pong ito, 2025, we're expecting a lot. Ang tanong lang dyan, yung proseso po ng pagpapalit ng balat natin, meaning yung transformation that we all have to go through, is that going to come easy? It really depends. Depende po yan sa ano ang dapat ninyong matutunan sa taon ng 2025. If you've been going through a lot of transformations in the past years, baka easier na this time for you. And I hope ganun kadali. But there's really no one specific answer kung magiging madali ba yung transformation na yan. Also, 2025, no? Sa Chinese po, may tinatawag tayong period 9. Ibig sabihin, bakit siya naging 9? Let's do quick numerology po. Sa 2025, lahat ng digits, if you're going to sum them up, so 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. Ano pong ibig sabihin nung 9 na yon? In a decade or in an era from 0 to 9, kasi po after 9, di ba, babalik na naman sa 0, ano? So, ang mangyayari po niyan ay yung 9 symbolizes it's the end of the era. Which means the following year, 0 po, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay it's really fresh, something new, a new beginning for all of us. Which means, ito pong 9 talaga is a transformation period for all of us. regardless kung anong zodiac sign mo, kung ano ang taon na pinanganak ka, yung mga animal signs mo, regardless, we all go through this transformational period, and hopefully, ito po yung pinaka-importanting i-share ko sa inyo, ngayong Year of Wood Snake, hopefully, maging bukas po tayo ngayong taon na ito, ngayong 2025. Let's be more open about what is the world, the universe, kung kayo ay religious, what does Lord God wants us to learn ngayong 2025. Kasi we're being prepared for a new beginning. That's 2026 onwards po, ano? In fact, yung period 9 na iyan ay good for 20 years para sa astrology. It's really going to end 2044. So, going back, mabilisan lang po, Year of Wood Snake. What do we expect? Just like a snake, we are to shed off old skin. Pag skin ang pinag-uusapan, posibleng, well, it could be that you will have a new look. Sabi nga nila, magandang panahon para magpa-enhance aesthetically. Pwede naman din yan. Also, posible din na when you're shedding off old skin, those are old patterns. Yung tipong, alam mong you're so traditional and you feel from the very deeper part of yourself na I have to let go of certain behaviors, I have to let go of certain characteristics that no longer serves me. That's shedding off. If you decide to let go of that, it could be an end of an era for that particular characteristic. Kung sa tingin ninyo na you are someone who's fond of controlling things, you don't trust other people to do things on your behalf. You don't even delegate tasks. Maski na ikaw ay nasa bahay, hindi mo pinagkakatiwala yung mga ginagawa mo, no? Sa ibang mga tao, kaya sa pamilya mo, it could be that that style of yours is no longer serving you, serving the family, or even the community. Please, observe, contemplate. Marami po tayong pagdadaan ng contemplation and all that. So, I am really hoping na as we all shed off old skin, old ways, old mindsets, even our culture, let's all be open and hopefully we get to embrace our new selves together. Dahil ang maganda po talaga niyan, transformation ideally will always yield to a better version of yourself, a better version of our world, of our community. But as I said earlier, disclaimer nga, I cannot guarantee kung ito ay magiging mahirap na proseso ba para sa atin. For some, pwede. For some, hindi rin. Kaya, let's be ready and be open with the idea na posible po talaga na this Year of Wood Snake, we are going to have transformation. Just open it. Okay? Just have an open mind. Be ready for it. And please never ever reject the idea or even deny that it's happening. Because should you do so, mababaliwala po ang year 2025. Next year, it's the old you. Believe it or not, mas mahirap po na ninyong ina-navigate yung mga darating na taon. So, let's all welcome transformation with Wood Snake 2025. And sabi po nila ang color daw ay earth tones kasi nga wood, di ba? So, I hope talaga namang hopeful tayo ngayong 2025. So, balik na po tayo sa ating topic, which is the mental health talk or mental wellness discussion, particularly for entrepreneurs like myself. I'm certain, I'm confident na marami kayong matututunan, and you could also pass this on. Pag pinag-usapan pong mental health, hindi lang naman ako or ang mga sektor ng negosyante yung affected. Everybody is going through mental health crisis. Kung hindi ngayon, may pinagdaanan sila, but believe it or not, kala nyo nalampasan nyo na yung mental health crisis na yan, pinatutulog lang po natin sila. What does that mean? Ibig sabihin, anytime na may trigger, pwede po talaga tayong pwedeng ma-activate yung trauma na yan, and by that time, possible na mag-explode ito. So, we'll never know kung paano natin ina-navigate yung situation. Kaya, might as well, join me nang sa ganun ay we know, or at least Sabi nga nila, knowing is half of the battle. And I totally agree. Kaya yan naman ang aking i-share sa inyo ngayon. So again, welcome to the episode 2 of Mental Wellness Talk with yours truly, the Joyful Entrepreneur. Alam nyo po ba, bigyan ko kayo ng mga facts ha. I will share a couple of facts with you. Ito na ang unang fact natin. Mental illness is becoming a common disability and at least 3.6 million Filipinos suffer from mental, neurological, and substance use disorder. Balikan ko, 3.6 million Filipinos. In fact, isa po yan sa 5 mga disabilities na na-identify kapag kayo po ay clinically tested and confirmed na meron talagang mental health concern, that's a disability, pwede po talaga tayong magkaroon ng PWD card o kaya kasi again, it's considered disability. We don't want that just because of the discounts that we're getting, but point being is, tumataas pa no? Parang tumataas yata yung bilang ng mga tinatamaan ng mental health. Bakit hindi? Alam niyo yung panahon na ako po ay millennial ako, first batch. Ako po ay 43 years old na. I remember bilang isang millennial, naabutan natin syempre yung Gen X, ano? Yung the year before us. And of course, pati yung boomers, inabutan din natin yung mga lolo-lola natin. But the point is, I'd like to share with you na yung panahon po na yung mga magulang natin are going through itong mental health, of course, parang hindi yan big deal. In fact, no one's really talking about it. Nahihiya yung maraming Pilipino, particularly to talk about their mental health. In fact, inaririnig nga natin yung movie na sobrang maingay sa ngayon, na ipapalabas pa lang yung kay Pepsi Paloma. They said na she really had difficulty navigating her life, lalo na nung time na siya ay sikat. Tapos, did she commit suicide? Obviously, ako hindi ko po alam. But the point is, no one has spoken about it. Ngayon na lang po nauuso talaga yung mga discussion, yung topic about mental health. So going back, imagine yung mental illness. Nagiging common na po. 3.6 Filipinos are really suffering. And clinically diagnosed po. Itong galing dito sa Department of Health po ito, na 3.6 yung nagkakaroon ng mental health. So, as I'm saying, marami na po talaga ngayon. Nung time po nga ng mga magulang natin, or maski tayong mga unang batches ng mga millennials, we seldom talk about it, or sometimes we're in denial. In most cases, ang ginagawa po natin, we just let it pass. Ibig sabihin, at the back of your head, you're experiencing something, you recognize that, pero sa isip mo din, alam mo na it's going to stop, na there's an end to it, and that things will go back to normal. Yan ang para sa mga generation natin. But some younger generations, sila po, mas vocal sila, mas open sila, sabi nga nila, mas awoke, di ba? Kasi they know the symptoms, they studied it, they've seen someone share their experiences. So anytime they feel pressured o kaya yung nararamdaman pa lang nila in their heart na they're feeling lonely or sad at some point, doing schoolwork, doing businesses, or when you're an employee, di ba? Konting lungkot, may mental health concern na. Or may mental health disorder na. Kaya so there's an anxiety attack, di ba? Burnout, chronic stress na ba yan? Depression, gamit na gamit po yung depression, di ba? So, itong mga bagay na ito, marami pong mga younger generations ngayon na konti ngang ma-experience nila because they understand or probably they've heard it from somewhere, they verbalize their experiences. At is that good or bad? So, probably yung mga nagre-report po ngayon, actually, as I do my talks with different sectors, mostly ang nakakarinig talaga ako ay yung mga younger generation, yung mga anak ng mga participants ko, yung nagkakaroon ng mental health concerns. So it's good to know na it's a disorder or a mental illness that has been increasing in number. It could be good or it could be bad, but looking at it, it seems like we need to be more aware para we know how to deal with it. Lalo na kung hindi ikaw mismo na negosyante ang nakaka-experience yan, kapag may employee kayo sa family ninyo, may mga ganyang instances, you know what to do. Okay? Let me give you another fact. 49% of entrepreneurs suffer from at least one form of mental health condition. So, ilang percent? 49%. Meron daw pong yung 49% ng mga negosyante nagsasuffer with at least one disorder or condition. It could be, of course, anxiety, chronic stress, burnout. Pero ang sabi dito, with depression being the most prevalent. Wow! Kaya pala, lalo na during the pandemic, ang dami nagsasabing, I'm depressed. At isa na rin po ako doon sa nag-claim at nagsasabi nga na I had depression. Bakit nga ba, particularly yung mga entrepreneurs yung sinasabi nating mayroong depression o kaya mayroong at least one mental health condition? Let me explain to you, and I'm sure nakaka-relate naman kayo, lalo na yung mga negosyante. Unang-una, kung ikaw ay negosyante, in most cases, kung hindi ka pinanganak ng mayaman, may pagkakautang ka. So when you started the business, probably you have a small amount of money, naglakas ka ng loob, but at the same time, you needed more funds to finance your day-to-day operation. And at the same time, you needed more funds para naman mapalaki mo yung operation mo. Kung, let's say, may order ka, no? Yung kaibigan natin na si Zara One. Yung si Zara One po, that's a brand as well. Yung mga fabulous bags that she has. I remember part of her story was when she started, ang unang umorder daw po sa kanya ng eco bag. So imagine she started with an eco bag, is SM. So si SM, if I'm not mistaken, requested or ordered 500 pieces. So kung ikaw ay negosyante, nagsisimula ka pa lang, and then you got your first major client right away asking for you to deliver 500 products, di ba? Yung 500 eco bags. Kung hindi ka ready doon, kasi syempre kung nagsisimula ka, yan, most ideal yung 500 orders right away. Pero in reality po, hindi ganun kadali yun. Or hindi lahat ng mga negosyante ganun kaswerte makakakuha ng malaking account lahat. Naintindihan nyo yun? And I'm sure nakaka-agree kayo dyan, di ba? So, yung iba, syempre magpe-prepare lang small amount. Let's say 10,000, 20,000. Pero kung 500 na eco bags, at nung panahon na yun, si Zara One, hindi pa sikat yung eco bags dito sa Pilipinas. So, syempre, kukuha ka ng raw materials from somewhere. So, kailangan mas malalim yung iyong bulsa, di ba? Mas marami or mas malaki yung magiging capital mo. So, going back po, kung ikaw ay negosyante, maraming mga negosyanteng kailangan kumuha ng utang para ipangtustos dun sa mga negosyo nila. It's a constant thing po na, may order kaming ganito, kaya nga kung nabalitaan nyo yung rediscounting ng cheque, hindi ko alam kasi yung iba ginagawang negosyo yon. Yung iba naman, I think part yan ng services ng bangko. Let's say meron akong job order, 500, yun nga, eco bags, tapos binigyan ako ng cheque. Yung cheque, ang aking delivery date should be, example lang, March. Yung cheque can be cleared sometime in, siguro, April or May, di ba? Pero kailangan mo na yung pera para nga ma-fulfill mo yung order sa'yo. So, ang gagawin mo yung iba, magpapa-rediscount. So, ibig sabihin, let's say, yung 100,000 na check ko, 5% yung rediscounting, babawasan ng 5% yun, 5,000 pesos. Magkano na lang yung makukuha mo? 95K na lang, di ba? So, marami pong pumapatol sa ganyang mga options ng mga nagsisimulang negosyante kasi nga, kailangan nila para masustain, mapalaki yung business, di ba? Once in a lifetime yung mga ganyang mga opportunities, why will you not take that, di ba? So, going back, sabi nga dito sa report ng Small Business Economics, 49% of entrepreneurs suffer from at least one form of mental health condition. Isang example na nga yung binibigay ko sa inyo. Yung pag-sustain lang ng business operation mo, pag-meet lang ng demands ng customer mo, bago ka pa lang eh. So bakit hindi ka magkakaroon ng mental health condition kung gano'n, di ba? Yung stress level mo, ang stress level naman po, I'm sure you're aware na yung the right amount of stress can motivate you, can inspire you to do more, to do good and better, especially in your business. Pero kapag sobra na po yan at paulit-ulit yan, imposibleng hindi po kayo talaga magkaroon ng mental health condition. Of course, bilang isang negosyante, alam niyo po din na most of us, ang totoo po niya pag tinatanong kami ng mga nagpapamentor na mga bagong negosyante, ano ba yung common na problema ng isang negosyante? Ang totoo po niyan, bukod sa pera, ang common po is manpower. Ano ibig sabihin ng manpower? Obviously, employees, staff. Pag maliit kang kumpanya, posibleng meron kang isang tao lang na nag-handle ng ganitong task. Nagmumultitask pa tong isa. So, in a bigger setup, bigger corporations, sa isang department, let's say, marketing department, probably sa isang marketing department, meron silang 5 to 10 staff looking after the marketing department. So, they are a team. Kapag ikaw ay maliit na negosyante, hindi po ganun yun. Kung sino yung may-ari, in most cases, siya na rin yung marketing staff. Ngayon, kapag nakayanan niya ng kumuha ng marketing staff talaga na employee, kapag umabsent po yung employee na yon, syempre si business owner will then focus on other important things, equally important things. Kaya nga siya nakumuha ng katulong Tapos, biglang a-absent yung staff na yon, nagkaroon ng emergency for a few days, sino po ang sasalo nun? Obviously, yung negosyante pa din. Kaya nga naman, sobra yung stress level. At sinishare ko nga po sa inyo, mataas po talaga ang stress level ng negosyante, lalo na dun sa management ng mga staff. Not that I'm saying na matitigas ang ulo nila, but of course, we're humans, all of us are. Marami po tayong mga considerations, may pamilya tayo. Complicated po kapag pinag-usapan ang human resource. So that's giving us additional stress na could sometimes lead to yung mental health condition. Yun na po. Okay? Now, I'll give you another fact. Mental health issues can significantly impact an entrepreneur's ability to perform, which in turn affects business outcomes. Ito po ay important yung ating source from Australia and New Zealand Journal of Psychiatry. Again, mental health issues can significantly impact an entrepreneur's ability to perform. Bakit nga naman hindi? So imagine, kung sobrang taas na po ng stress level mo, obviously, you will find it difficult to make a decision right away. It's automatic. You can't deny that. Kung ang dami mo nang tumatakbo sa isip mo, imaginein mo na lang may problema ka sa bahay. Tapos, may problema ka din sa negosyo. Karamihan sa mga negosyante, nagkakaroon ng insomnia, hindi makatulog kasi yung kanila pong mga utak ay tumatakbo pa rin, gumagana pa din, maski na nasa kama na sila, maski na pagod na sila, yung utak nila just can't stop running. And with that, obviously, mahirap naman po talaga na i-manage yun. At kung mataas na nga ang stress level mo, hindi ka na nga makatulog, totoo po yung sinasabi ng report ng ating data, okay, na ito, yung mental health issues can impact our performance as entrepreneurs. Ganun po talaga kahirap ang pagiging isang negosyante. But you might hear from me na mahirap ang pagninegosyo o kaya ang buhay ng isang negosyante ay mahirap. Totoo po yan, I will not deny that. But please take it from a context na maski po mahirap ang buhay ng isang negosyante, kapag napaganda mo, napalaki mo yung negosyo, wow! Believe it or not po, you can certainly have a life-changing experience, and that business could just consistently give you a living or ensure that you're making a living from it. Passive income is also possible. So, malaki po yung risks pag nagninegosyo, pero ang laki po ng possible rewards. Kailangan mo lang trabahuhin. Kaya nga, lagi ko pong sinasabi sa mga talks ko, because as you know, I am a business coach din po, bukod sa pagiging mental wellness coach, I always tell people na sa umpisa talaga mahirap ang pagiging isang negosyante. Pero sobrang rewarding po nito. Like, as you know, ako nga po ay 3 taon ng retired. Nagtatrabaho po ako. Part ng work ko ito, no? I still do a lot of public speaking. I have engagements. I am working with mga private corporations. I also have clients in LGUs. Although I'm working, I'm still retired in a sense na kapag ayoko na po, ibig sabihin, hindi ko gusto yung katransak ko, hindi feeling ko, I'm not valued here, I have the option to stop my engagement. I have the option to say no to people where I needed to compromise my values, myself. So, may mga ganun pong aspeto for me bilang isang negosyante, bilang isang retirado. May ganun na po akong capacity na mag-say no, na mag-decline kapag hindi ko kapareho ng values yung aking magiging ka-engage sa negosyo. So, I hope you understand that and I also hope na lahat tayo ma-experience yun na early retirement. Ang sarap po nung feeling na you are empowered, you get to love yourself, you get to have personal time, you can work whenever you like working and definitely stop and rest if you need it. Sometimes mas hindi mo kailangan, gusto mo lang ng quiet time, di ba? Masarap po yun. But going back, kaya ko naman ito reiterate is because certainly while discussing mental health, talaga pong lalabas yung the unfortunate side of running your own business, and it impacts our mental health. But this even so, please know na running or having a successful business is worthwhile. Sobrang sarap po ng may negosyo, and at the same time, yung negosyo mo ay malaki yung nagiging contribution niya para sa pamumuhay na gusto mo. So, it could certainly help you build your dreams or sustain the lifestyle that you wanted. So, yan. So, going back, ang mental health issues nga daw po, malaki ang impact nito sa ating performance. Minsan, kung ikaw ay salesperson and you've been so stressed and you know na you need to hit a quota para at least man lang mapasahod lang lahat ng mga employees mo, no? Pero dahil nga patong-patong na po yung mga stresses na meron tayo sa pag-run ng negosyo natin, tapos isasabay mo pa kung ikaw ay pamilyadong tao na, may problema sa pamilya, hindi naman maiiwasan yan, they are all natural, but just the same, pag pinagpatong-patong mo yung mga problema na kailangan mong harapin, mahirap po yun, obviously, and imposibleng hindi tayo maapektuhan sa aspect ng mental health natin. At yun nga yung sinasabi. So imagine if you're in sales and there's so much stress is going on, kapag sinabi po kasi nating mental health, ito ay kasama na dyan yung emotional, no? So, minsan nagmamanifest din yung ating mga emotional stresses, yung ating mental stresses sa physicality natin. Yan yung bumababa yung iyong immune system, o kaya naman ay lagi na lang parang may mga sumasakit sa'yo, parang lumalabas yung mga sakit mo. Minsan nga, bigla ka na lang magkaka-flu, hindi mo alam. Alam nyo, ang flu po kasi, particularly fever and colds, that goes to show kapag meron tayo niyan, our body is requesting for us to rest. Pahinga po lang ang kailangan. Siyempre yung quality na rest, no? Para masabi natin na we'll be fine, we'll be better. Pero kapag iba't ibang sakit na yung lumalabas sa inyo, yung body nyo talaga nagwawala na. And if you have those illnesses, okay, one over another, or one after another, then, kamusta nga yung performance mo bilang isang negosyante? Paano mga may hit yung quota? In most cases, you fail to meet your quota ng buwan ng January, magpa-pile up yan for February para makabawi ka, and then March, kamusta na lang yung stress level mo? Kaya nga, in the next few episodes that we're going to have, we will certainly talk about ways kung paano po natin mas mamamanage yung ating mental health. Okay? Yan, para sa mga negosyante. But of course, even if you're hindi pa negosyante as of this time and you're planning to be one soon, you join us na para ma-prevent na yung pag-escalate ng mental health condition natin. Okay? So allow me to give you another fact, and that is 41% po ng mga Filipino prosumers admit to be grappling with mental health issues. Sino ba yung 41% na Filipino prosumers? Ito po yung mga consumers na may mga trabaho, may mga careers, may capacity sila to buy from different businesses. So, 41% of Filipino prosumers admit to be grappling with mental health issues. Obviously, napakarami po talagang mga stresses sa paligid natin. Traffic na lang, Today, traffic is not so heavy because I came from Imus District, Ayala District. So, I was with RC, my partner, who did tarot reading. RC is the mystical entrepreneur, and one of his gifts is to read through tarot cards for entrepreneurs and anyone who wants clarity. So, going back, wala masyadong traffic ngayon, but on a regular basis, alam nyo po na sobrang stressful kapag ikaw ay naipit sa traffic. Meron nga akong nakilala, he is a hard-working HR personnel sa isang engineering company. I met him when we had our 5-day workshop in Bohol. Yan po ay a week ago lang. Ngayon, hindi ko na sasabihin yung pangalan niya. Siya po ay natutulog ng less than 4 hours a day because nakatira po siya sa Cavite. Of course, ang office niya ay... Saan ba yung office niya? In Cubao. So, ang biyahe po niya from Cavite to Cubao, one way is 3 hours, return ganun din 3 hours. Of course, do your math. Kaya ang tulog niya po 4 hours na lang. So, yung stress pa lang nung pagbabiyahe natin on a daily basis, going to work and coming back to your residences, that in itself is stressful. Kaya nga, 41% of Filipino prosumers po are having mental health issues. At ito pa, ang isang fact na kailangan nating marinig lahat and we have to pay attention, 73% po dun sa 41% ay mula sa Gen Z. Gen Zs talaga po ang pinakamalaking tinatamaan ng mental health issues or conditions sa ngayon. And siguro we will have another session, pag-uusapan natin bakit ba ang mga Gen Zs ay hardly hit ng mental health condition. But it's good to know na kung Gen Z yung anak, yung mga employees ninyo ay Gen Z, I don't see any harm if you will avoid them from being stressed, if you could help them avoid mental health conditions, So, let's just recognize that. Be aware that that's really a reality in our time, and perhaps we can do something about it to balance everybody's life para nga po hindi na umabot dun sa point na dadagdag sa data yung mga kilala nating Gen Zs na merong mental health conditions. Yan. So we need more people to understand what mental health really is, but at the same time, numbers na po ang nagsasabi. At tumataas yun ha. Imagine 73% of the 41% prosumers. Malaki po iyon. And finally, I'd like to say na yung chronic stress po, di ba? Again, the right amount of stress will motivate us, will give us an inspiration, additional kick, additional adrenaline para makapag-perform tayo lalo sa trabaho natin, sa mga businesses natin, for us to achieve more. That's the right amount of stress. So please do not be enemies. Do not be enemies with stresses. Pero pag pinag-usapan po natin yung chronic stress, lagpas ka na dun sa threshold ng stress, ng regular level of stress. So chronic stress is common issue among entrepreneurs and can lead to severe physical and mental health problems if not managed. Kapag chronic stress po ang pinag-uusapan, ito yung prolonged exposure ng isang negosyante or ng kahit sino sa stress na pinagdadaanan niya. So in my case earlier, I said na I found out na even years after I stepped out of the business that I've created that even made me retired, I still have traumas in me. Yan ay dahil sa paulit-ulit. Yung chronic stress, di ba? Na paulit-ulit may problema. Every day, almusal mo, tanghalian mo, dinner mo, may problema. Ang minsan, mas cute pa, meron ka pang breakfast or parang morning snacks at meron pang snacks in the afternoon. Pero anong ini-snacks natin? Stress pa din. So, chronic stress po is really becoming common. Pero nakakatakot lang na halos lahat po kasi ng nagkakaroon ng mental health condition, they start with chronic stress. Yung prolonged exposure to different sorts of stresses, whether at work, running your businesses, or even family. Yung kapag hindi ka na makafocus, that's chronic stress. Hindi mo na magawa yung mga dati mong tasks na came easy for you and all that, pero nahihirapan ka this time. Because ang tagal mo nang hindi nagdi-disconnect sa trabaho, ang tagal mo nang hindi nagbabakasyon, ang tagal mo nang hindi lumalabas sa mga barkada mo, kasama yung mga barkada, di ba? When was the last time you had a good laugh with friends? So, typical po na nagkakaroon ng chronic stress yung mga negosyante or kahit sino kung you don't even break your patterns, your regular patterns. So, mga joyful. So, hi mga joyfuls dyan, ha? So, mga joyful, I'd really like for you to think about, kasi yung ating session is only good for 40 minutes every time. And I make sure na yung ating conversation is really specific. No? Nagkaroon ako ng balbas doon, ha? Anyways, ang conversation natin is really specific to mental health, particularly for entrepreneurs. But let me remind you, hindi lang po entrepreneur ang nagkakaroon ng mental health. Lahat po tayo. Kaya you're all welcome to join in, lalo na yung mga plano pa lang maging negosyante para aware na kayo sa simula pa lang. Magkikita-kita po ulit tayo pag-usapan natin yung iba pang mga mental health topics na magandang pag-usapan. Siguro, i-relay natin yan. I-connect natin sa aspeto ng puso. Kasi syempre tayong mga negosyante ay obviously may love life din naman tayo. But there are a lot of things that we should really understand in terms of our mental health. So, tandaan na lang po natin, it's important that we redefine yung success na meron tayo. Kasi lahat tayong mga negosyante, we typically think of ways on how to become good at certain things and how to grow our businesses, how to make it a home brand. Normal po yan, we understand, and I support you, but I am saying and campaigning na it's time to redefine how you look at success. Tapos na po yung panahon na ang success ay yung amount of money that you have, the number of properties, of the vehicles that you have. Wala na po tayo dyan, okay? Dahil ang definition po talaga ng success ay hopefully you have everything that you need and at the same time, you are joyful inside. So with that, magandang gabi po at magkita-kita tayong muli sa susunod na episode ng Mental Wellness Talk with the Joyful Entrepreneur.